Okay, here's an introduction in how to use expressions in After Effects. Expressions in After Effects is another way of saying how to use code. Okay, if you're using a PC, then you got to use Alt. Okay, this is how we're going to use code in After Effects. If you guys look carefully here, I've got some animation. I've got a keyframe on an attribute called tracking amount, and I don't know if you guys are aware, but when it comes to font, tracking amount means the distance between your letters. Okay, so if I animate the tracking amount getting smaller, you'll see that I'm starting off with the tracking amount of 108, and over time I'm bringing the tracking amount down to 0. So I'm going from 108 down to 0. Okay, this number can be used to drive another attribute. For example, if I select this layer and I add an effect called Gaussian blur. I don't know if you guys know what Gaussian blur means, but it effectively just blurs the layer. Check this out. I'm going to hit the letter E and show my Gaussian blur attribute. I'm going to expand this Gaussian blur attribute. And then I'm also going to expose my keyframes. So I'll hold down the Shift key as I hit the letter U. Since I held down Shift, that'll show my keyframes as well as what I was already showing before. I'm going to hold down Option and click on the stopwatch for blurriness. All of a sudden, the attribute number changes to red, and I have the ability to type in some code. I'm not going to type in any JavaScript or ActionScript right now. Instead, I'm just going to use this pick whip. There's two pick whips here. There's a parent pick whip, and there's another pick whip that's really close to the red number. I'm going to use the pick whip closer to the red number. This is called the expression pick whip, and I'm going to drag this pick whip to the word tracking amount. That's going to be my master. Instantly, code is copied and pasted into this editor down here, and I'm going to click on gray to finalize that code. What's going to happen now is the blurriness attribute is now going to follow the tracking amount, meaning the value of the tracking amount gets inherited to the blurriness factor. And now I'm going to hit play, and you'll see that as the tracking gets closer and closer to 0 and the letters come together, the blurriness also goes from 108 down to 0. Using expressions is a really easy way to get individual attributes to follow other attributes. And this is more powerful than parenting, because parenting limits you to only the transform attributes. Okay, just want to reiterate that transform attributes are the universal term for position, rotation, and scale. Okay.